Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to another deck profile. Ryan from Yugioh here. Today, I'm going to be going through my second place regional deck profile, which is Mitsurugi Dogmatika with some interesting, cool engines. Alright, let's jump straight into it. So, obviously, Mitsurugi is a very strong engine. It's a very strong deck. That's the main reason. It goes without saying that Mr. Habakiri up here should be banned. So 3 Habakiri, 2 Murakumo, Futsu, Saji, Kusanagi, Aramasa, Knight Sword Serpent, 3 Prayers, 2 Ritual, 1 Megatama, 3 Pre-Prep, 1 Mirror, and 1 main deck trap card. So as this deck is kind of going on the pure Mitsurugi line, to me, man, Mitsurugi's been out for nearly a year now. 11 months, came out in January, right? To me, this lineup is just personal preference at this point. I am a big fan of Knight Sword Serpent, just because it gives you that low effort rank 4 play. I only play 2 rank 4s in this deck, Dugaras and Baguska, but they should both be banned. Both of those cards are bannable, and Baguska really contributes to your end boards when you get drolled and when you get forward, for example. The double Ritual and the double Murakumo is this strange thing where occasionally it just comes up where your opponent doesn't suspect that you have a second one, or they think it's out of rotation and they play differently as a result. I'm playing Megatama. I don't usually play Megatama, but I am playing it because of this deck's whole gimmick with Radiant Typhoon Vision. Mainly because I wanted to increase this deck's strength of playing in the draw phase, because the boogeyman of Draw and Lockbird is, really unfortunate. It sucks, guys. It's pretty bad. However, we have to try and beat it. It's not going anywhere. Unfortunately, it's such a load-bearing card that Konami should do something about it. Hopefully in Genesis, hopefully in the standard format. Maybe a semi-limit would be lovely, but the hands where you beat draw more often is when you draw prayers. So I really wanted to play on that philosophy of quick play spells equal good, and how can I make my deck as draw-resistant as possible? And with the Great Purification with the trap card, I feel like for the pure Mitsu decks, especially if you play a secondary engine, that doesn't really offer you an Omni-Negate. I think it's too important to not have Purification. A good deck makes a negate. I feel much more comfortable playing with an Omni-Negate in my deck than most things. So that's the Mitsurugi lineup. So very strong, very effective, wins games on its own, breaks boards on its own. That's why it's good. Like most common main meta setups, the standard Yummy board, bar from the Herald of the Arclight, gets outed by the dumb Murakumo summon. So that's why it's played. So I didn't play many hand traps in this deck. I opted for more of a quick play spell route. So 3 Radiant Typhoon Vision, 3 Droplet, called by 2 Metaltronus, 2 Super Poly, and I guess alongside that, the 3 Fallen and the Virtuous. So obviously Mitsurugi Prayers is also a quick play spell. And since it's still at 3, it's not limited. We can just keep searching it, and just, if we don't open any quick play spell, we usually get away to search a quick play spell. Again, Radiant Typhoon Vision is just personal preference. When I played it, it was really fun. It was really cool. The better you can craft your hand in your draw phase before you even start playing or can get drawled, the better. There is a lot of redundancy in the quick play spells, I find sometimes, depending on the matchup. So it's really just pick accordingly to the desired matchup. The Fallen and the Virtuous, this card is very, very, very solid. It's hard to say that it's broken or it's degenerate. It's really in one of those fairer forms of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's obviously a self-replacing, quick play destroy a face-up card, which, if released in formats past, would have been absolutely game-breaking. However, it does have that second effect where if you have an Ecclesia monster, it's also just a monster reborn, which is really good, because fortunately for me, I do play an Ecclesia monster. So the Dogmatika part of this deck is the 3 Nadir Servant, the Ecclesia, the Floor, and the Maximus. I also side the new Floor and a Dogmatika Punishment, but more on that in a moment. I found, you probably don't need to play Dogmatika Fleur in this deck. I really liked it though, because I found I really don't like redundancy when it comes to deck building. I found that obviously if you open Maximus on Nadir Servant and then you Maximus send a Titaniclad, you really want like another monster to summon just to get maximum value. Like I don't really know how people like don't play Floor, but then of course like Floor is really bad to draw. It's going to contribute to your bricks pretty badly, but it served me really well in the tournament. I would rather not cut it. Nadir Servant is still just a god card. It is just an absolute god card. Just drawing a card, searching Maximus. Maximus turns on your Mitsu engine and your branded engine. It's just insane. About the other quick play spells, just quickly, Droplet is obviously the most ubiquitous, most applicable. It can be a bit awkward into enemy Herd of Arclights, but you'd rather have it than don't have it. It'll be a very interesting next set with the Forbidden Crown that will fit right in here as well. Now, Metaltronus and Super Poly, to be honest, guys, I also just played this deck for the first time at the regional. So, 7 rounds, 80-person regional, play a deck for the first time. I don't recommend it, but when you have such a good grasp on, I guess, the base of the deck is Mitsurugi. If you have such a good grasp on Mitsurugi, you can kind of play whatever you want with it at this point. With more testing and exploration, I'm sure Metaltronus could be even better in this deck. However, it did serve me quite well on the day. I felt like I had covered up most matchups. I do side a third copy of Metaltronus and Super Poly based on how I feel in the matchup and how effective it will be. Super Poly was just ridiculous. I question if this card should remain at 3, but overall power level of the game and of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's fine to remain at 3 copies. It requires a lot of extra deck dedication. The extra deck targets are lengthy. Like, there's just so much option. So, in theory, if I shaved off some of the more clunky cards, I guess it is a 50-card deck. If I shaved off one of the more clunky cards, you could just move the third Metaltronus and third Droplet into the main deck. You could even play maybe more Radiant Typhoon cards. I don't really see much of a negative of, I guess, maining the monster that searches this. It is just a free extender. Maybe that's a different deck. I'm not sure what that looks like just yet. But, yeah, this was just so nuts. Obviously, you open one Fallen of the Virtuous, you can, use it to destroy something, and then it'll send Titaniclad, and then Titaniclad will get you into your Dogmatika engine on your next turn in case you've bricked or you're struggling to find Mitsurugis. Like, it will eventually bridge there. And that did happen. There are many low resource game states where you just get stopped, and then eventually your quick play spell that says pop 1 somehow gets you into full combo eventually. Great. Now, let's save the best till last. So I played some more monsters. I just played the 3 Fua because it's arguably one of the best cards in the game, most needed card. And I played 2 Diviner just to increase my starter count and my normal summon count, because obviously Diviner, Send Arclight is full combo. But we're also playing the Elder Entity Antis, which I really enjoy that mind game component of Diviner. Just increasing your ability to, force things like Draco Tail Flame before your ritual summon is always really nice. And of course, Entis works really well with Nadir Servant and Maximus, so why not? Not playing any level 1 Fairy, though, to summon off this, which felt a bit gross as someone who really enjoys the Poisson de Nouvelle and Miracle Raven, or even summoning Eva off Diviner. It does its job, still. Like, Diviner's just here for the extra consistency. In theory, it could just be more Aramasa, but I just think having the Entis in the extra deck puts it a little bit over, playing more Mitsurugi normal summons. And yeah, Fua is self-explanatory. And now the last 4 cards, really, really cool. Demise, King of the Armageddon, and 3 Turning of the World. So I really wanted another quick play spell that was like Engine. And this card is as close as it's going to get. Because if you don't know what this card does, quick play spell, it's ritual summon Ruined Queen of Oblivion, which is a light fairy ritual, which could have applications with Ashland U1000 if you want to increase the deck's consistency even more. But I think that's a different deck, more of a ritual slop deck. And you could have pre-prep as well to play the actual ritual spell for Demise to make, I guess, pre-prep a little bit less redundant. But that's beside the point. So yeah, you ritual summon those guys out of your hand or deck, but you have to tribute ritual monsters from your hand. So it can be a little awkward, but usually some hands are good enough where you can just give up the Habakiri in your hand anyway to summon this in the draw phase. To get a search. Again, that's why I play double Murakumo as well, and Futsu. Like, there's just so many combinations of cards. Like, obviously, the dream scenario is like when you go the standard prayers, tribute a high-level Mitsu, you summon Aramasa out of your deck, then you get 2 searches, and then furthermore in the draw phase, you could, like, Turning of the World, summon this guy. Yeah, it was very interesting. In that case in particular, summoning in defense mode, because all the Joker Tail effects are like main phase only, you can just get your turn player priority just to pay 2,000 and then to try to blow up the whole board, which is really funny. It forces them to Joker Tail Flame this, which is very interesting. In terms of the tournament itself, I did draw this card a decent amount. It did its job in every time I drew it. Forced an Ash Blossom, it forced a Joker Tail Flame, or I drew it off the Radiant Typhoon draw spell and I could just discard it. My one regret though of this deck is in my extra deck, I wish I played one less Branded Fusion level 8 Dragon guy, and I played Hope Harbinger to tank Galaxy, because this guy's obviously level 8, so just having more level 8 bodies did come up, and I would have won a few games even harder if I had Hope Harbinger. So yeah, it makes it a 50 card deck. In theory, if you just remove these fun cards, you can play a very stock standard like 44, 45 card deck, and it's probably better or would just function just fine. But, that's part of the game sometimes, is you just get to play these really cool, interesting cards, which, yeah, he did its job. Like, the theory was sound, and that's it. Yeah, he's a really good guy. So, extra deck. So, yeah, the Entist and the Arclight must be banned. 2 Albion, Titanic Lad, and the Dragon that Devours the Dogma. This one should just be Hope Harbinger. Don't need any more than 3 targets, I found. Super Poly, Secretarian, My Dragon of the Swamp, and Garura. Secretarian is really nice because it makes Metal Tronus really good. Like, obviously Metal Tronus is for Herald and also for this. Also works for Ryziel, Light 3000. But yeah, mainly there for Draco Tail, very important role. The rank 4s, because they still exist, Dugaris and Baguska. I abuse these cards like crazy because I'm just a defender of Nightsword Serpent. Whenever Nightsword Serpent leaves my deck, I'm sad. I miss him. He needs to be there. These guys serve me incredibly well. Baguska won 2 games on his own, as he usually does. They can ban Ouroboros, they can ban Protoss, but hopefully they don't ban Baguska. He's my last god that I have left. And the Link monsters, obviously, Almirage, IP, Little Knight, and Dynamondo. Almirage, just to make those awkward normal summons a little bit better if you draw Ecclesia, or... Yeah, it's good to just have extra Link bodies to banish off, to banish for Maximus as well. Sometimes you convert your normal summon and like a ritual monster into SP or Dynamondo, and then then you have the extra deck monster in your graveyard to banish. So extra deck is very tight, but I think it could also be further optimized. Definitely could be further optimized with better Super Poly targets, better Metatronus targets. But also it does feel nice that you have the Dark Cyburst target for Malice. You have for enemy Baguskas. You have some very interesting targets here. Believe it or not, the more you think about it, but definitely could more be done. So side deck for going first, I played a Thunderbolt and a Punishment. Punishment isn't a great card. It's kind of outdated, but I just enjoy using it. What can I say? Mitsurugis don't really need your extra deck. You can play without it for a couple of turns, and you just win with tempo, which is really nice. And then this just, again, furthers the redundancy, or perhaps matchups where you think Fleur won't be as good, you just get the double pop. It's really nice. Just remember, this has to be summoned out of your hand to set this. Don't misplay like I did. I'm still sorry about that. The 2 limited cards, Judgment and Talents, I just wanted them to exist. They're not quick play spells. Could they be quick play spells? Probably should. Speaking of quick play spells, MST, just in case I needed to search it. And to be honest, I needed to search it once when I didn't cite it in, And then I played versus Runic Stun, so I was very happy I had it in my deck. Another good quick play spell, of course, is double Cyclone for Draco Tail Flame. Keeps going synergistically with the quick play spell theme. As mentioned before, the third copies are Metal Tronus and Super Poly, just based on the matchup. 2 Lava Golem, just for fun, mainly for Lunar Light, because you don't really need your normal summon in this deck. I actually, when I sided in the Lava Golem, I take out one of the Diviners. And yeah, I just got to run with it, man. And then, just because I think both of these more Charmies are great, I just can't fit more. I think Purulia is still a little bit better, just based on my experience and my metagame, but I definitely know some areas of the world where Meows would be better. So I just opted for the 2-and-2 ratio. Well, anyway guys, thank you for listening to my deck profile. Hopefully it was informative and not too rambly, but yeah, that's my top 8 regional deck profile. Stay tuned, I will do another one, and hopefully a little bit less frantic, because I want to do one about Gem Knight. I haven't been making videos, but I played Gem Knight at least 17 times now, and it's just been the best engine I've ever played, almost. It's amazing. Anyway guys, thank you, bye bye.